Jazz has decided to own Debbie. Jazzy, is that your mama? Is that your mama?
Baby.
Getting ready to lick her? Are you gonna lick her? Jazzy bear. Snorting like an old lady. Just chilling. She owns you. It's so gross. Not. It's just.
It's worrying about her. It's not gross.
It's not gross at all.
It's my mosh.
Look at that face. 12 and a half years old and is a big puppy.
She's a kitten.
I think she's a kitty. Don't you?
Cat.
A little paw around your neck is so cute. And somehow that's her foot back there.
This is how we're sleeping,
No, it's not. You wish. Cool girl, Jazzy. Hey, Jay. Oh, I'm gonna try to not drop my phone. Give me 5. Good girl. Say good night. She's already snoring. Debbie, stop.
Hello. Welcome to Magic Monday. We have a special episode for you today.
It's a hard episode, though. 2 years ago today, the world's most perfect dog, along with Tyson, but Jazz, our little girl, she passed away. We said goodbye to the light of our lives.
She definitely was.
And it doesn't matter how much time passes. Jazz is up there, right above Debbie, and then Tyson's here. And last year, we did a video in honor of Jazz the same day, a year ago. And that was on Battersea Dogs and Cats Home. And then this past July was the 1-year anniversary of Tyson's passing. And we did a video on the RSPCA. Jazz and Tyson had a legacy that still to this day carries out. And if you don't know about our story, and we're not going to go through all of it, but because of them, we started our own nonprofit in 2008.
We did.
Here in Cincinnati, helping homeless and abused dogs. And we still, to this day, continue that work. But that was more founded by Tyson and Jazz. And
but it's definitely a subject matter that's very important to us and holds a special place in our hearts.
And I was just going to say, if you know nothing else about us as people, this is what matters to us the most. Helping homeless and abused dogs, dogs in shelters, getting that word out. Don't buy a dog from a breeder. Go to a shelter and adopt.
Spay and neuter.
Spay and neuter, spay and neuter, spay and neuter. And love the ones that you have while you have them, because it does go by so quick.
That it sure does.
And so it's hard, but in the legacy, in the spirit, Jazz was the most loving little dog. She wasn't little at all. I don't know why I'm saying that. But she was the most loving girl. And you hear us at the end of our video say, love like Jazz.
And be as strong as Tyson.
Jazz was that love in our life. And Tyson.
Definitely the strength.
Yeah. Today we're going to look at a different place. And we would ask you to please make a donation either to what we're looking at today, or your local rescue, your local dog shelter, wherever you may be. Any donation, no matter the size of it, really does help shelters and rescues out more than you know.
Absolutely. And if you can't afford to actually donate, go and see if you can volunteer and do something in another way.
Yes, maybe walk the dogs, help anything you can do.
Absolutely.
But do something, please. We ask you to. We ask you to please do that. Today we're going to look at the Dogs Trust in the UK. Now, I did not realize the Dogs Trust started in the UK, because we have the Dogs Trust in the US. And just to pull it up real quick, it's from the website on the Dogs Trust here in the US. It says, although we draw much of our expertise and experience from the Dogs Trust in the UK, Dogs Trust USA is a separate nonprofit entity. So, did not know that. But I had followed them on Facebook for quite a while, years. And I don't know the history, obviously. But so this will be a learning curve for us to learn a little bit about what they do, how they do it. Now, this video from the description was only posted in 2021. However, it does say that this was filmed in 2009. So there may be some differences. Don't know. Let's learn about the Dogs Trust in the United Kingdom.
Founded in 1891 as the
Whoa.
National Canine Defence League, the Dogs Trust is now the UK's largest canine welfare organisation.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
No, I didn't know
Already?
they were the largest.
Really?
That's pretty incredible.
I thought the RSPCA would be
I thought so too.
the largest.
We were wrong.
Okay, wow, already out the gate learning stuff. Okay, sorry, I had no idea. That's really cool. Okay, now I'm really intrigued. I was already intrigued. Now I really want to know more.
League, the Dogs Trust is now the UK's largest canine welfare organisation. With now over 17 rehoming centres up and down the country, the Dogs Trust is also involved in educating the public on responsible dog ownership and projects such as campaigning for microchipping. Hi Leslie, so you're the supporter relations officer, so what does that involve?
Well, it's very interesting, and it's all the outward-facing sorts of things, so publicity, fundraising, events, and things like that. Obviously, we've got dedicated staff here at the centre looking after the dogs, walking, feeding, watering, giving meds, doing all the general things that the dogs need, as well as working with the public to try and find our dogs a loving, responsible home. And while they're doing that, I'm going out and sort of presenting the work to the world at large.
Right, yeah. How many dogs do you rehome on a yearly basis?
Well, last year we rehomed 16,000. What's more important than the sheer numbers is the quality of each home.
Yeah.
We believe
Yes.
So important.
There's so many rescues, unfortunately, that don't do that.
Find the right home for the dog and the right dog for your home.
And
Vice
that's-
versa. It works both ways.
Yeah, as both trained dog behaviorists, that's something that we were very passionate about and still help with people.
Yes.
Is making sure they get the right dog for them.
Mhm.
Because a lot of people go, oh, I love the look of that whatever dog. And they
Maybe
get
that
it.
dog has too much energy or not
Exactly.
enough energy, whichever. It's just not a match.
Usually more energy is the problem, right?
Usually.
People don't usually call up like, my dog's so lazy.
Right. I can't get this dog to get up off the couch.
Yeah, he want to get off the couch and stop watching TV. He's watching sports and just sitting there and he don't want potato chips.
You won't clean this room.
They don't clean the rooms up.
Yeah, I know they don't.
Anyway, but no, that's really great to hear that.
what's more important than the sheer numbers is the quality of each home.
Yeah.
We believe every dog's an individual, and we try and find the right home for each of our individual dogs. Here at our Salisbury Centre, we normally have up to 70 dogs at any one time, and it's variable based on how many dogs will share a kennel, how many litters of puppies we might have in at a given time. So it does vary, but we can hold up to 70 dogs here, and generally we are full. Because every time one dog goes out to a new home, there's another dog waiting to come in.
I just want to say this really quickly. For one, again, this is 2009, right? Some sort of the numbers have changed. And I know when we've done the video on the RSPCA and even Battersea, a lot of people have commented like it's too hard to adopt a dog and they won't let me have a dog for this, this, and this. Please understand that they know what they need to do for that dog.
Yes.
Please don't take that personally. Do some rescues and shelters sometimes go overboard with that? They do. But again, like she just said, dogs are individuals. So they need a different type of, they know what they need for families. And last but not least, I must say this. There's no such thing as a breed that is dangerous. It is a person who raises that breed to be dangerous. And there should be no such thing as breed-specific legislation toward any dog for any reason ever.
Exactly.
There's generally two main reasons. They're either handovers or strays. Now, a handover is when somebody brings us their dog because they can no longer look after it. And this can happen for any number of reasons, whether it's a divorce or death in the family, a change of job, or somebody's gone out and got the wrong dog for their lifestyle. For instance, if somebody's out at work 10 hours a day and they've got a farm-bred border collie puppy, and then they say, oh, he's being destructive, which is not a surprise, really. We also have dogs that we take in from the local authority dog wardens who were strays, who have been with the dog warden for 7 days and whose owner can't be traced. So we take in a lot of dogs from all local authority dog wardens to try and minimize the amount of dogs that are being put to sleep.
Do you tend to have more of the handover, or do you tend to get more strays?
More strays?
It varies hugely.
Really?
I mean, on a given day there might be an animal ambulance arrive with 12 strays. Or it might be that lots of people ring us up in a difficult situation and can we help. No 2 days are the same around here, ever. We do have some other dogs that come in, like with our canine care card, which is a free scheme that we offer. where if something should happen to you and you've registered for the canine care card, your dog can come straight into kennels. They don't go on a waiting list, they don't get passed from well-meaning relative to well-meaning friend and back again, and they certainly don't end up in the stray dog system. This ensures that they'll have the best chance to have a second chance with somebody else. And when you register for the canine care card, you tell us all about your dog. And obviously nobody knows their own dog better than the owner, so
I wonder if
they
still
tell
do
us
that.
all the relevant things, and we're in a much better situation to find that dog a new home.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a dog that doesn't really fit to the handover or stray category.
Never heard
And we
of that
do
before.
get some of those, and we encourage everybody to fill in a canine care card. It's free and there's no reason not to. We've got our glass-fronted rehoming kennels, which are state-of-the-art and which are designed to keep the dogs happy, relaxed, and healthy while they're with us so that we can find them a new home. We have a specialized block of kennels just for puppies and whelping mums because they need special care. We have a bath and grooming room, and we have a vet suite on site as well, which includes a surgical theater, which is very important to us because it means we can neuter all of our dogs on site. We can do dental surgeries, microchips, vaccinations, all the basic care that a dog needs can be done on site, which reduces the amount of travel stress that they might have, as well as being a more efficient use of staff time as well.
Fantastic, they got it all.
One of the myths about getting a rescue dog is that you're going to get a dog with behavioural issues. I'm not sure how true that is because the assessments that you do are obviously quite thorough and you have a history on a lot of the dogs that come in.
Absolutely. It is a myth that all rescue dogs have problems. Some do, certainly. Of course they do. Many of them have been through a very difficult start, and it would be shocking if they didn't have any issues. However, many dogs come in and are perfectly lovely dogs. They've come in through no fault of their own, and they're simply looking for a second chance. And what's a problem for one person might not be a problem for somebody else.
Exactly.
For instance, if you've got a dog who doesn't like to be left, and you work at home all day, well, that's not really a problem, is it? Whereas some other dogs do have behavioral issues. We do work with them. We've got a full-time training and behavior advisor who puts in place programs to help modify the behavior of any of the dogs. And we try and make...
I didn't know they had that. That's phenomenal.
It's amazing.
I'm very impressed right now.
There are so many, I guess you might want to call them an issue, behavior things that dogs do that can definitely be worked on. And a lot of times it's just having to know how to do it.
It really is. But the fact that they have this available is
to have
fantastic. I'm loving this organization. And I said a minute ago, when they mentioned how they have the surgeon there and all that stuff in facility, I said, oh, they have it all. But they only have it all because of donations. So please, again, we urge you, please, I hope this video will get anybody to donate, not just to them, but again, any place that you know is reputable near you where you may be watching this. I don't care what country you're in.
Exactly.
But this is fantastic. These guys are doing it right. They're doing it right. And I'm very impressed.
Puts in place programs to help modify the behavior of any of the dogs, and we try and make sure that if they've got any problems that we can address them.
Fantastic.
Also, some things are pretty straightforward. If a dog is dog aggressive, then we can find him a home where there's not another dog.
Do you have many dogs that can be homed with children?
We do get dogs in that can be homed with children. Obviously, we're not willing to take risks with any children's safety. A lot depends on the age of the child involved. But what we'll do is if somebody were to come to us with small children, we'd look for a dog, perhaps a handover, that we know has lived with small children before without any difficulty. And obviously we'd talk about training and the importance of training. And we will talk to kids about the importance of treating a dog with respect and all these sorts of things.
Fantastic.
And we always advise everyone never to leave any dog, however trusted, along with any small child.
I love you.
I understand one of the core values of the Dogs Trust is that you never put a healthy dog to sleep.
That's true.
Good.
Tell us a little bit about that value, because that often is something that differentiates you from perhaps some other rescue centres.
Well, we believe that every dog deserves a second chance. Very often, if a dog does have issues, it's not through any fault of their own. They're not a bad dog. They may have been mistreated. They may have come from a puppy farm where they didn't have that all-important contact with other people and other dogs when they were young. But very often, these are dogs that deserve a second chance, and we don't feel that it's fair to put a dog to sleep for any of the myriad of reasons that people often will say. We don't have a time limit for any of our dogs. Dogs can stay with us as long as they need to until we can find them the right, most suitable home.
Good for them.
And we sometimes need to be a bit creative in our thinking as well. If a dog's been with us a long time and doesn't have any issues, it might be that the right people simply haven't come through the door. So in cases like that, perhaps sometimes we can transfer them to one of our other centres. We have 17 centres around the country, so sometimes that's a way to go.
If anyone knows what that number is now, that'd be great to know. I'm sure it's different
Yeah,
than
that's
2009.
Mhm.
But that's interesting that they transfer the dogs to different centers to find maybe that family is not in
Exactly.
this area, they're in this area.
Mhm.
That's cool. I'm loving this.
That's a great to see that they're willing to do
Yeah,
that.
a lot of places won't do that, especially here.
Oh,
Not at all.
No.
So that's nice to know that. I wonder how often it happens and how far they can travel and how
Transport 'em.
often they may do that. Like, what is
Mhm.
there a time? I don't know. But I find that very cool. I really like that a lot. I'm really loving the information here.
Other dogs simply need a chance to settle in and really get comfortable.
Mhm.
It can be unsettling for a dog to come into a place like this. As
Absolutely.
nice as we try and make it, it's not a home. And some dogs really just need that bit of time to find the right home. For instance, we had a dog here called Prince, who's a lovely lurcher, absolutely stunning, but he wasn't great with other dogs, and he was labelled as severely dog aggressive.
Right.
But we found over time that as he settled in, we were able to introduce him to some dogs, and if he was introduced properly, he'd be fine, depending on the dog, of course. So we spent a lot of time working with Prince, and in total, he was here for 1.5 years.
Wow.
We were able to give him that chance, and a couple came in. They were looking for lurcher, and they said, but we're very sorry, because our dog won't have any access to other dogs. And we said, well, we know just the dog for you. And they took Prince home. It was a lovely home for
Awesome.
him. They're very happy. And it turns out I bumped into Prince recently. He's gone home 2.5 years ago, so he's been out quite a while. But I bumped into him recently, and what's happened is that the couple has continued his training and has really worked with him, made him very comfortable, and he is now great with other dogs.
Wow.
And what he needed was that chance and that understanding. What he needed most of all was time.
What a great story.
It
I know
is.
she's not quite done, but that is amazing. It warms my heart.
Yeah.
And that's what helps people that do this stuff do it. And hopefully it can help to make a dog's dream come true.
Those success stories are worth everything.
You're able to give him that. And we think that for dogs like Prince and the thousands of other dogs we look after every year, if we can give them that time, we're going to see the best come out of that dog. We're very grateful for any support that we get. As an animal charity, we receive no government funding whatsoever, so it's very important to us that we get the support of the dog-loving public, without which none of this would be possible. We take in funds from a variety of sources. Rehoming brings in some, Sponsor a Dog brings in some, legacies account for 1/3 of our annual income, so they're very important to us. But any way that people want to support us, we're very happy and very grateful for that. If people want to gift aid, any support that they give us, that helps tremendously.
Fundraising is so important. They can't do any of this stuff. No rescues, no shelters can do any of these things without fundraising and without people
Absolutely.
donating. So don't think if you have like £5 or $5 or
Even
whatever,
if it's £1.
yeah, don't think it's not enough. It helps. It
Mhm.
helps. Think if everyone that, think of 100,000 people, just did a $1, £1, right? That's a
Be a
big
lot.
deal. That's a big deal.
It sure would.
But what people should know is that any support that they give us means that we can save more dogs' lives.
Exactly.
We have wonderful volunteers. We do need full-time staff because the dogs need to be looked after every single day, including Christmas and New Year's and Easter and everything. Looking after 16,000 dogs a year, the enormous vet bills. We also do things like we need new agility equipment for the dogs here
I love
because
that
we
they have
like to
that.
give them lots of physical and mental stimulation.
Fantastic.
So we will at some point be looking for funds for new agility equipment for our dogs. Toys and treats and blankets and things like that are always very, very welcome. We'll be opening a charity shop in Salisbury to raise funds and awareness for the dogs in our care. So if people want to donate new or as new goods to the shop, if they want to donate some time and help out in the shop, that would always be great.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
and
it
of
is.
course, if they want to shop in the shop,
I wonder if that's still
all
around.
of that will help raise money for the dogs in our care, and that directly transforms into saving dogs' lives.
I loved that video. I loved the information we got from it, albeit older, but still a lot of it definitely still accurate. Fantastic organization that I'm thankful that I've been following the US version of it, but now I'm going to start following the UK. And absolutely fantastic. I did just quickly at the end of that video. I was just saying, are those shops still around? Yeah, they're still around, all right. In fact, here's a map of how many there are in the UK alone. There's 33.
And that's just a wonderful idea, because that's even more ways that you can help, whether it be by donating your stuff so that they can resell it, or going there buying stuff that you need and want
Yeah.
to have in your own home, and then they get the proceeds from that. That's a great idea. I do know that there's a few rescues around here that do that. I can name 2.
Yeah, well, and I was just looking too on how your donations helped, and this is about the shops. It says last year, thanks to donations like yours, we were able to provide care for 12,500 dogs without homes. This is on their current website. Rehome 9,700 dogs, including 451 long-term residents.
Yes.
Care for our 1,700 illegally imported puppy.
Oh, wow.
Support 14,600 dogs through our dog school. I know people that are watching this too, in past videos we've done like this have said they already donate to certain places. And, that's great. And we think that's awesome. And I'm so happy.
That is wonderful.
But today, maybe give a donation to a different place.
Mm-hmm.
Either Dogs Trust or, again, like we said, someplace else that that is reputable. A
That's a
one-time
great
donation,
idea.
Why not?
Yeah.
£5.
It's Christmas. Just give a little extra
Yeah.
to a different organization.
Even if it's £5 or £1, just something.
Mm-hmm.
We're certainly going to do the same. But I'm thankful to the Dogs Trust staff, volunteers. I personally thank you. If you're watching this, if it makes this video makes its way to you, thank you.
Yeah.
We know a fraction of how hard that is, the work every day. And your
staff, volunteers, people answering the phone, every bit that goes into it.
You're all heroes.
Thank you.
And all of you who have adopted a rescue dog, shelter dog, you're all heroes too. You really are to us, and to those dogs more so than us. Thank you guys so much for watching this special edition, albeit a heartbreaking one. It is for us. I mean, it just can't put that love back in your life once it's gone.
Mm-mm.
You can't. And finding another dog to replace is another thing I would say. Don't go get a dog after another dog dies if you're still mourning, because you're just putting that grief on that depression onto that new dog. Give yourself time.
Make sure you're ready.
Yeah. So thank you for watching this episode. It means a lot to us. And again, if you would like this video, consider subscribing to our channel and share this on your social media platforms. Just, again, if you can do anything to help a homeless dog today, please do. From the bottoms of our heart, Merry Christmas. Thank you. And gosh, if ever there's a day to say it, love like Jazz.
And be as strong as Tyson.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.